What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're just going to be doing some monthly and weekly analysis. We're going to take a look at June and we're going to look at July going forward, what could potentially happen, what I see happening on gold and GJ. But before we get started, I just want to say the first month of the Premium Signals channel, June, has just closed, of course. We are now into July. But I just want to share with you guys the record from the Gold and GJ Premium Signals channels, and that ended for the month of June with 19 wins, 3 losses, and 5 break-even trades. So that's 3 losses throughout the whole of June and 19 wins, right? So if you guys are interested in that, the link will be down in the description. I'm excited for July. I'm excited to see what July brings. I'm excited to keep growing the YouTube channel, the premium members. I'm now working on a course that a lot of you guys have asked about and for. So I'm working on that. It's going to be insane. It's going to be unlike any other course in Forex you have ever seen. You are not going to learn these concepts from anybody else apart from me. I promise that. And that is because I haven't just copy and pasted another course like it seems everybody else does in this industry. A lot of the content, a lot of the Forex course content is just copy and pasted and altered slightly to make it seem like it's not, or make it seem like it's new. But I have brand new Forex course content for everybody. This is something that this strategy is what I have learned myself. I haven't done a course or learned off anybody else this kind of information. This is from me looking at charts for 10 hours a day, sitting in my room, staring at a screen, back testing, and just looking at ways that I can capitalize on certain movements at certain times, right? So with that being said, I don't want to bore you with too much signals and course crap. This is a YouTube video, and what I want to do is break down gold and GJ on the monthly. So let's get into it. Here you see we have the monthly chart on gold. We can clearly see we have a resistance here, right? And I like to draw my resistances what in whichever way makes sense, right? It doesn't have to be it has to be from a top wick to a candle body like this, or it has to be capturing all the candle bodies in that resistance, or it has to be from that wick to that wick, or I like to just draw it with what makes sense. And if I'm on the monthly time frame, I'm going to draw my resistance probably something like this, because that way when we start going down to our entry time frames and things like that, we're actually going to see that resistance like this, right? And not like if I was to draw a monthly resistance like this and try and capture that whole resistance level, and then we go down to the 4-hour time frame and we look at it, and it's it's too big, it's not accurate enough. So like I said, I just like to draw it whichever makes sense. So I'm just going to do that week, and these 2 weeks over here, so we capture the absolute top of that resistance once we go down to the lower time frames. So we can see gold is consolidating here on the monthly, right? We've had this bullish move to the upside, and then we've had gold start to consolidate. We had a big move to the downside, breaking structure, right? Breaking that bullish structure. So this bullish structure would be here. Price is in an uptrend, creates a higher low and continues bullish, but then comes down and breaks it. So I would say in some sense that because gold hasn't broken this high at the moment, right? So what happened was it came down and broke the lows down here, broke that structure to the downside. So now we have bearish structure to the downside, and then it came all the way back up, but it didn't break this previous high in the market that it made. You can see it just fell short of it and then rejected. So price at the moment for me, of course, is bearish. The structure, not price, but the structure is bearish. And of course, we have a now major resistance because this is the monthly time frame. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections to a resistance on a monthly time frame. So at any moment, I think we could have a potential sell-off on gold here. What I also want to, and that's from the monthly perspective, of course, and then as we start to go down the time frames, we'll look for ways that price can match up with the monthly, right? So we know monthly is looking bearish, of course, even though we saw this move up. And another thing I want to point out is we have this kind of resistance support zone here that got rejections here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, price came back. Price closed above, came back down, retested it. But now price on the monthly candle, which is very key, right? This is a very key part of what I'm saying here. Price now has closed back into that range, right? It's closed back below that resistance. So again, another factor that, we have the key resistance at the top. We have bearish structure formed now without breaking previous high structure over here. And now we have a close back into a range, I would say like this range right here. And so now we have three confluences that price from the monthly time frame could be bearish, right? And of course, I would say the next zone we could look at that price could come down to is in this general area right here. If we move it to the left, we can see that price interacts with this level quite a bit. And the last major support it made was here, right? We had that pull up, push up, pull back, created a support on the monthly, and then continued bullish. So again, right, this is number one. We have a key resistance in the market. Number two is price broke bullish structure to the downside. And then number three, we have closure back inside a range right here, right? Where price made resistance previously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rejections, closed above. And you can see as price closed above these next candles, that bullish momentum started to fade, right? You can see the rejection wicks, and now the momentum is coming back into the downside. So I would say for the potential for July, is to come down now potentially into this area. We'll see how price reacts around that previous monthly low, but that could be the first target, of course, is that previous monthly low, to see if we want to come down and retest in this monthly low area before we potentially flip back. I don't know. But everything at the moment for me on gold is pointing from the monthly perspective. Again, the weekly could say different, the daily could say different. But from the monthly perspective, from those three confluences that I've just marked out, I see gold being bearish on the monthly time frame for the month of July, right? And now let's go down. Let's just mark out that monthly candle like that. And now let's go down to the weekly time frame, so we can get a bit more of a clear idea of what is happening here. So if we have a look at the weekly straight away, what I see is price is tapping into this level right here, right? So let me change this to gray. So we can see over here, price made a resistance, support, and now price is tapping into this level again, and that's right where we had our monthly low. We can see clearly as well that resistance on the weekly now, and we could even refine that if we wanted to. We could bring it down here, but I'm not going to do that. We can see on the weekly perspective that we have uptrend, right? So this was the point in the market that it broke over here, right? So broke it over here to take gold out of that downtrend structure. So we have we have like, lower lows right here, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, right? And then price broke out of that structure right here to the upside, made a new higher low and a new high, right? And then a higher high. So from the weekly perspective, price is bullish, right? We've now made our way to the upside, and we have created bullish structure and uptrend, right? And if we just pull out our Fibonacci, I don't use Fibonacci to trade at all in any way, shape or form, but I do like to use it to see how far a retracement has come, and if we have come into um the zone where, you know, price likes to retrace from, if it is in a certain trend, right? So we can see that price is within the 618786 zone. So from the weekly, there's, you know, every chance now that price could bounce from this zone and continue bullish. So what we would want to see, we have got weekly closures below this level, but you can see potential slowdown on the weekly time frame, right? Big rejection doji wick right here. We did close below this level, so we still have that in our favor. Price could come back up and tap into this level, maybe retest it before it continues down. So that's another option. So I mean, it lines up pretty perfect. So that could mean short-term buys coming into this next week for gold, but overall for the month on how it plays out, we could be looking at sells, right? So another way to look at this is it could bounce from this level with the Fibonacci, right? Because we've got this key level in the market, this gray zone. We've also got the retracement move happening, right? Boom, right into this level. So we could bounce from here, or it could come dip further down into here. But, you know, so those are two confluences for buys potentially. And what we have to think about is the monthly candle making a top wick, right? And so that could be the short-term bullish move in the market for the monthly to create a top wick, because as you see, it hasn't made one yet, right? It's only just open today. It's got a short top wick. But if you look at most of these monthly candles, they all have pretty strong top and bottom wicks. So that is also a potential, right? From the weekly, we're looking bullish. And this is why I said the weekly and daily could look different. So we just need to wait for things to start lining up together, right? So if we are going to be short-term bullish here on gold, because we're rejecting this key level in the market, and we'll also have retraced into that weekly Fibonacci move, because price on the weekly is bullish, right? Then we could look, like I said, at short-term buys, right? But we have to keep in mind the monthly time frame, and overall, eventually, at some point in the month, we could flip bearish, because generally what you could see is the first week of the new month close bullish, that pullback candle, and then the continuation, right? So, and this is everything that I'm teaching in my course as well, all about these kind of pullbacks, for the daily and weekly, things like that, everything that you need to look out for in order to come to a bias for the day and create a trade setup. You know, come to the charts every single day, analyze, and create your setup for that day. So you can also see now, I've just saw this, that gold came back down and retested that broken structure right here, right? So we had this level in the market that was the downtrend, right? It was a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then the most recent lower high, which got broken to the upside to break out of that bearish structure, came back down and retested it. So that's also interesting. So yeah, monthly looking bearish, weekly looking bullish. We've got a closure below this level, but we've got a key support here. So, you know, we've got this kind of general area, which we could be looking at trading. And now let's go to the daily, right? So if we're looking at the daily, we can see that we have the key support right here, which was obviously our key level from the daily. So that could also, I talked about this in a previous YouTube video about this gold daily support being a very interesting level for price to come back for a retest. So that could be another reason we're looking at buys. And then if we look at the daily rejection of this zone that I marked out from the weekly, we can see a beautiful 3-bar candle pattern. We have the bearish, bullish doji with the long wick down, and then bullish candle coming up. So if we do start to flip bullish here on gold, yeah, there's a high chance we're gonna be coming up into this area to retest it. what would you do with this zone? Maybe like this, to make it a bit more clear. So the monthly we know is overall bearish, right? From all the confluences that we had from the monthly, down to the weekly, which is now very bullish, with a bounce off of this support with the daily price action, the 3-bar candle price action. We have Fibonacci from the weekly. We have a key level, and then the other very important little piece of information that may have gone over your head was the fact that the monthly candle needs to potentially create a top wick, right? So with all that being said, if we're down on the daily right here, I expect we can see the daily starting to step up, right? We have a low and now a new high, right? Breaking out of this daily structure. This is daily highs and lows right here. So we've got green bullish candle, red bearish candle. So we had the high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and now we've got a higher low and a higher high. So gold could be coming to tap into this area, right? Could be coming to tap into here, or this general overall area right here we can see in the market, right? And then we could look at flipping bullish to come and retest in this zone during this week, right? So I expect this weekly candle to push up into this overall zone right here before we see potential further downside for the monthly candle, right? So that is top-down analysis on gold from the monthly to the weekly to the daily to the 4-hour. And yeah, I'm just making sure I've gone over everything. So this is the level we got from the 4-hour. So yeah, I believe my analysis is that we will tap into this area potentially today. Of course, if the 4-hour comes down and just breaks straight through this level, then obviously that's invalid. But if we do start showing some rejection of this level, then there's a high probability that price can continue bullish up into this level here. And of course, again, I don't trade these kind of patterns, but you can see we've got like a head and shoulders kind of pattern, right? So we've got a left shoulder, a head, and then a right shoulder, right? So we're starting to step back up to the upside. But I think overall, this level is a high potential to retest in here, right? So that is my bias. Monthly is overall bearish. So I think we will see a pullback to create that monthly top wick because the weekly is also bullish. A lot of confluences for buyers on the weekly, or bullish momentum and bias from the weekly. And then we come down to the daily. We're looking at daily highs and lows, daily candle closes, structures to give us those confirmations. So we're looking for a bounce from this level to take buys up into this level where we will then look for the market to roll over, and we can start looking for sells for the rest of the month, in my opinion, on gold. And I think I'm gonna do GJ in another video because the video is already 20 minutes long, and I'm trying to keep my videos shorter and shorter, obviously, because people's attention span, same as mine, is very short these days. People don't want to be watching a 30-minute long video on YouTube. So I'm just trying to make them as quick as possible. So I'll do GJ breakdown in another video. So thank you guys for watching. Again, if you are interested in the signals, the premium signals, the link will be in the description. Come and check it out. Send me a message if you need, if you have any questions or anything like that, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Cool. Thank you guys for watching.